it's quite an amazing thing that people are able to create. Oh, come on, you can't just destroy such a relic. Welcome gamers back to another Last Leviathan video. My name's SebTheGamer, and today we're going to be checking out the 4 best weekly creations from the Last Leviathan. The first creation we have is known as the Plesiosaur, or Plesi for short. If you gamers have ever played Ark, or if you have seen Ark, you know that Plesi is one of the dinosaurs in Ark. Now, this is a little bit of a wild creation, I must admit. Very fun to play around with, very fun, and it has some cool little mechanics. But it is, like the creator says, she is a bit wild. She's a wild one and prefers to spin and do barrel rolls as opposed to simply making left or right turns. Now that is what the creator said, and the curator is known as Mythic Toad. I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but we do have some controls, which is very appreciated, honestly, to teach us how to make such a magnificent creature work. And the amazing part about this is that it actually looks like a Plesi, which I quite like a lot. So if I press E, it keeps the head above the water, because normally, due to the fact of the speed, it would go underwater, as you can see here, and be a little bit bendy. But E keeps it upright, which is quite nice, honestly. We also have X, and X is to dive. Now, one thing you gamers need to know is that when you dive in this creation, it is very difficult to control. I did do a little bit of it off camera, but when you dive, as you can kind of see here, I guess we have to keep the head above the water, because one thing I've learned in this game is, with this creation, is that once you go underwater, the head will scrape across the ground and completely mess up everything. It actually, it's taken quite some time for me to figure out how to do this, and every time I do it, this happens. The head will hit the bottom, and it will break off. Now, I've tried many of times to make it work, but I've never gotten it to work perfectly. However, shut up, phone. However, if you do plus or minus, you can have the body raise or lower. Supposedly. At least that's what the creator says. But I don't quite see anything happening. I guess we gotta be moving. And then we might be seeing something. Okay, so plus is to lower her, which is a little bit the opposite. And as I think she's going down. She looks like she's going down at least. So we're gonna raise the head. But I don't quite see a difference. Maybe if I dive, we might be able to see a difference. But yeah, I'm not quite sure. So if we do minus, in theory, don't break the head. Okay, so right now we are underwater, as you gamers can see. However, the head goes up. It's like a Plesi stuck in midair. However, the plus and minus don't seem to be working really well. I mean, the E works surprisingly well, which brings the body up to the surface. However, everything else... Okay, shut up, phone. I'm going to put it on silence. Okay, well, that's my mom actually sending me messages. Don't know about what, but she's sending me messages. Not important. But the floating mechanism on this does not seem to work very well. However, this creation is very fun. Very fun to play around with. I honestly quite enjoy it quite a lot. So, we're not going to put any weapons on this. We're just going to goof around with this a little bit. As you can see, gamers, when you turn, it does a barrel roll, which I find is a pretty cool thing. It does turn. It takes a very long time to turn, but it does. And we're going to hit the invisible wall if we don't turn this thing around quick enough. Actually, it does make a pretty sharp turn, which I quite like, because sharp turns are quite fun to play around with. Now, as you can see, gamers, the neck is quite floppy, but there's nothing really you can do about that, so we're just going to let it be like this. Now, I must admit, a Plesi in a boat game, great idea. However, boat game, animals in boat games don't really work. Maybe a few creations, for example, the manta, the Plesi, and some other creations work, but normally animals don't really work. I love reviewing them and playing around with them, but they're not quite there. However, I love this Pleasy, and I'm definitely going to be keeping it as one of my favorites. So, if you gamers want to go check this out, the link is in the description, and also go check out Mr. Toad. I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that again correctly. Go check out his other creations if he's made other creations. So, I hope you gamers enjoyed this one, and let's move on to the following creation. I've often said, gamers, that I love to keep small builds because it's less strain on my FPS. However, sometimes those creations are just too good to pass up, especially when they're large and amazing and just fantastic. This one is one of them. This here is absolutely amazing. Now, I do get low FPS, so I'm going to be facing it towards the open sea so I can get a little bit better. But this ship is remarkable. I am amazed with this ship. This ship is known as the city boat. Rightly so, because it looks like a miniature city. Now, one thing you gamers need to know about this ship is that this ship has 897 blocks. That is not even close to some of the creations I've done before with in 1,000 blocks. However, you have to understand that this here is in pretty good detail, and it actually looks like a city like a city on a boat. There you go, that's it. You could say it's like a cruise ship, except more of a homely feel. Now, this one here was created by Cyro the Kitten, and it has no instructions. However, it has some interesting background and whatnot. Now, this here is made for nomads, naturally, since when you're on a boat and you live on a boat, it's usually made for nomads. I mean, there are, of course, some people who live on a boat and they never move, but some people live on boats and they move around the world or move around the country or whatever. But what nomads are is that they never settle down for more than a couple of months, I believe, or weeks. They practically move where the food goes. That's what a nomad is. It's more or less like a caravan. They're nomads. However, these nomads need to travel far distances, so they've created this. They've created something called the city boats, and it can hold a lot of people, according to the creator, and they can travel to new lands and new seas. Now, it's a very slow boat, a whopping 3 knots, but you don't need to go much fast, especially when you're relaxing, enjoying a nice peaceful time on the city boats. I absolutely love this creation. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I chose it, was because it's so unique, so interesting. Now, actually, I think I might get some slightly better FPS by looking into the natural area places, but we shall see. Sorry about that cut, gamers. My mother would like to talk to me via the phone because she is leaving on a business trip, I think, and also a family trip. So she's just left, and she just wanted to give me a call. So as I was saying, this ship is amazing. Love it, and a lot. And people keep sending me messages now. More and more messages. Jesus Christ, I should probably turn off my notifications, shouldn't I? Anyway, let's hope we don't get any more interruptions. This ship is amazing, and I absolutely love it. I think this week's creations are very up there. The creators are just blowing everything out of the water, and I honestly quite enjoy it. So right now, I'm making my way between there, just so I can get a nice screenshot, because I feel like the best screenshot is with the mountains, and you can see the size of these ships, because you might think that this is a small ship from the camera's perspective. However, when you look at it compared to one of the houses, for example, that house up there, this ship is absolutely massive. Like, it's just blows it out of the water, and I don't really know what else to say. However, one thing I did forget to tell you is that the developers of this game, of The Last Leviathan, Superpunk Games, even commented on this guy's creation. Okay, shut up, notifications now. Even commented on this creation saying ace. Don't know what this means since it has no plane, but I know what he's trying to say. It means that it's a great creation, which I'll have to agree is an amazing creation. So, we're just going to quickly turn this guy around. He's a bit of a sluggish fellow. But like I said, no one wants to go quickly when you're a nomad, except when you're being chased by bandits and whatnot. But that's another story for another day. So we're just going to flip this guy around, and we're just going to take a lovely screenshot, as we normally do. Especially since the best creations gets the best screenshots. That's a little prize you could say that you get. So I'm just gonna whip him around. He's probably gonna be inverted because I would like to get something like that. I guess so. I mean, actually, we're gonna go like this. Yeah, there we go. All right, fantastic. Oh yeah, yeah. This is the city house. The city house. The city boats. Ba-da-ba-da-bum. The city house. It's like something like from a TV show or something. I don't know. See daisies. I always make that mistake. I'm a silly bitch sometimes. Whatever. All right, screenshot. All right, we're gonna move my mouse there, and there you go, screenshot. Fantastic. So, this here was the city boat. If you gamers want to go check it out, link is in the description. Many thanks to STKS, with abbreviation for Cyro the Kitten. Great creation, my friend. Great creation. Love it a lot. Now, let's move on to the next one. You know, the Roaring Twenties was such a great time for the United States. It was such a great time for everybody, really. It was the Roaring Twenties. And one of the greatest things about the Roaring Twenties was that the last Leviathan has a bloody steamboat. It's a steamboat. I mean, come on, guys. I mean, it's a steamboat. Anyway, this here is known as the Gatsby, based off of the book The Great Gatsby, which I've read, and I've also seen the original movie of The Great Gatsby. Now, there are no steamboat scenes in The Great Gatsby. However, it was based in the 1920s, the Roaring Twenties, as many of people know. Now, I'm going to turn up the flamethrower, since it is a little bit of annoying, and the developer does say that the flamethrower can get annoying. But this is a steamboat. This is based on the original two, rotor propeller steamboats. Just quickly seeing what it would be called. No idea what it's called. I absolutely have no idea. However, a little bit of history with the steamboats. Actually, these are called paddles. This is the paddle steamer, paddle boat. A little bit of a history with paddle boats is that they would go up and down the Mississippi. Most of the time was the Mississippi, and at the same time, it was often used for rough-ish seas. So it works well. This one here, she can go on rougher seas quite well. Now, this week I've decided not to add any weapons or whatnot. Oh shit, that's a rock there. I need to turn away from that. I did not notice that. But yeah, shit, I forgot what I was going to say now. What was I going to say? I completely forgot now. Yeah, I forgot. Oh yeah, we're not going to add any weapons to any of the creations this week, since these are quite amazing creations. I mean, these creations are just take it to the next level, really. I mean, these are, the best of the best. And the best thing about this is that, again, Superpunk Games has said this, and I quote from the comments. Superpunk Games has said, "I was wondering when someone would figure out how to do a paddle steamer. Awesome job." This is an awesome job. I must give it to Avrax. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm really bad with names, but Avrax, you did an amazing job with this. I mean, when I first saw this on the screenshots, which was more or less like this, I was like, oh shit, it's going to be like an absolutely massive creation. It's going to have a lot of things, it's going to completely trash my computers. But I was like, do you know what? I want to check it out. I did, and I'm very happy I did, because this is a steam-powered boat. It's not steam-powered, but it's related to a steam-powered boat. And this is absolutely amazing. And I absolutely love original boats, classic boats, because you don't really see them anymore. And I just love them. It's the same with vintage cars. I love vintage cars, vintage planes, anything vintage really, even vintage toys. I just love the classics. Also vintage arcades and whatnot. Drake knows them. So it's quite an amazing thing that people are able to create. Ah, cow, come on! You can't just destroy such a relic. You just can't do that. I was gonna take a screenshot, but now no. Oh, you destroyed my beautiful ship. Oh, how could they? Anyway, this here was the Gatsby, a steam-powered ship. This video has been kind of going on a little bit everywhere, but you kind of have to make do with things like that. So, this was the Great Gatsby. Links in the description if you gamers would like to go check it out. There are no weapons on this, and you only have to press the W button, and this flamethrower pops up. So it's completely worth it. It's not that tanky, and we are getting bombarded by things. And by the looks of it, it's got some pretty good defense. I mean, we are barely missing anything, which is honestly quite impressive for a steam-powered ship. Now let's move on to the final creation of this week, and probably the largest. Alright, maybe I was wrong. This is not the largest ship we've done, however, this is still an amazing ship nonetheless. Now this here was created by a Japanese, Chinese, or Korean creator. I've honestly no idea how to read those symbols, those characters. So I do apologize if I'm unable to pronounce your name or anything, but this is known as the IJN Mikasa. I have no idea if this is based off a real ship, or a fake ship, or of an anime, or of anything, really. It's kind of stereotypical that I'm basing it off of anime, but whatever. But this here is a warship, as you can see by the amount of weapons. I did not add on these weapons. These weapons were already in, part of it. And it's got quite a lot of firepower. However, similar to the previous, similar to last week's creation, like the battleship, it has a spinning turret. Of course, this is in a 90-degree increment, and it does not get stuck. And we've got two of them. We've got one in the front and one in the back. Now, this ship is probably more for looks than for firepower. I mean, it's got a hell of a lot of firepower, but I would honestly like to keep this preserved, beautiful. I do not really want to use this. But since it does have weapons, we're going to put it to the test. It might not be made for it, but we're going to be doing it nonetheless. So we've got a little building up there. I don't know if you gamers can see it. I hope YouTube is able to render that. But we're going to try to take it out. We're probably going to have to aim like surprisingly high to, get even close to that. But my goal is to at least try to destroy that. We haven't done any fighting in this video, and I feel like maybe now is a good chance to just test out how good my aiming has got. Trust me, it has not gotten any better. Alright, so we're just going to reverse turn here. Since it is not the fastest of turning, it's not, nor is it fast. However, that's fine. That's something that has... The Kraken sleeps. Are you telling me that there's an actual Kraken in this game now? I don't know. I would have to ask the devs. Okay, well then. Ooh, did not know that. That's a little bit of a scary thought now that I think about it. Anyway, that's not the whole point. We're going to try aiming at this building over here. Now, we have... Oh! We're quite close to aiming to getting this thing. Look at that. Look at that. Look at this firepower. Maybe this thing is actually pretty well dealt good with stuff like this. I mean, Jesus Christ, we're doing some serious damage right now. It's kind of hard, especially since the triple cannons shoot further than the normal cannons. So kind of judging distances and whatnot is a bit difficult with this ship. But as you can see, gamers, we did more or less completely demolish that thing. So we're just going to come out here, and we're just going to spin it around. Well, not really spin it around, because we're going to go and attack this place in front of us. This video has kind of been going all over the place, gamers, so I do apologize for that. I just really wanted to get back into this game, and I never write a script for what I'm going to be saying in the game, or what I should be saying in the game. I just go with the flow, and whatever comes to mind, I say. Oh, and we're being attacked. Okay, this is a moment of retaliation. We shall fight for our ship. I will go down with the ship if that is what I have to do. No one hits my... Okay. Okay, we just died. Okay. That's a mess. Okay, you guys are good. Yes. Oof. Yeah. I could have done that better, but I didn't. Oops, my bad. No, I do not want to surrender. Never. Never. Anyway. But we have to test one more thing, gamers. One thing I've been interested to see what would happen. We are going to shoot our own ship. I tell me that we have like something. Oh, okay. I was facing the wrong way still. Alright, we just need to. There we go. Now we can shoot correctly. There we go. Right, now we can destroy our ship. Don't know why you would do this, but I would like to. Why not? Alright, so there we go. And we're gonna just take out this. This is the best part. Just to take out your own ship. I have no idea why you would want to do this, but I'm doing it. This is the last thing that keeps keeping everything up. Take out this thing, and the entire thing should, in theory, come crashing down. That is if my calculations are correct. Boom! There we go. Everything should be down. However, this destruction of the ship is not finished. I just blew up my own cannon, which... Okay, there we go. We blew up our own guy. Fantastic. However, this is where I'm going to have to wrap up the video, gamers. I hope you gamers enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to smash the like button. And if you're new, don't forget to subscribe. Now, I do want to apologize, gamers, about this video being all over the place. I did not intend for that to happen, but it did. And I do apologize for that. But all the creations that have been featured in this video are linked in the description. I recommend you go check them out. Tell them I sent you. And I hope you gamers enjoyed. And I'll see you in the very next video. And don't forget, gamers, to keep on gaming.